Hello, I'm Steven Cree. Thank you very much for watching Film News.
Steven Cree, great to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. Your latest film, Churchill, has just been released this weekend in cinemas. You played Captain James Stagg. Tell us about the role.
Captain James Stagg was the leading meteorologist at the time for the Royal Navy, and he was tasked with the job of predicting the weather around about D-Day, and it was largely due to his advice to Eisenhower that they delayed the D-Day landings by a few hours from the 5th of June to the 6th of June due to the adverse weather conditions. And due to that decision, D-Day was the success. It was largely part to that decision that D-Day was the success it was.
Fantastic. Was it an enjoyable part to play?
It was a great part to play. I didn't, I knew absolutely nothing about the character beforehand, and I've always had a real interest in World War II, so it's always fascinating for me to learn something new. And I think the fascinating thing about World War II is it's full of heroes that we don't necessarily know anything about. Passionate on the World War II history. So this particular period in time wasn't something that you knew too much about. Well, certainly, I know. I knew a bit about D-Day. I narrated a documentary on World War II a few years ago, and I've watched numerous documentaries on World War II. But you always, you forget, or there's details that I didn't know about, and this focuses on a particular part of D-Day as well. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And you've appeared with Eva Green in Rise 300, Rise of an Empire, Angelina Jolie in Maleficent, Sheridan Smith in Tower Block. Who did you enjoy working with the most?
Sheridan Smith in Tower Block. I didn't actually meet Angelina Jolie, and Eva Green is absolutely lovely, but very quiet. And Sheridan is lovely and really good fun and good banter. So
that'll be always important, I'm sure. You also joined television drama Outnumbered as Ian Murray. How have you found that?
Outlander,
sorry.
Outnumbered's the comedy, I think. I love it. Outlander's amazing. It's I knew nothing about the books beforehand, and so I had no concept of, already had a huge fan base. The books had sold like 20 million copies in the 90s, so even before it came to the screen, it had a set fan base there. And the first day I was on set, I kind of realised like what a big deal it was. It was like it was kind of like being on the set of a big movie. In a way, the production values are so high and there's so much money spent on it. As well, it's it's a very exciting thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. And you've been in Misfits, Off the Record, BAFTA-winning BBC film Marvellous, Vera, Shetland, Silent Witness, Atlantis, The Musketeers. I mean, you're obviously good at getting parts.
Lucky, I guess. I think I think the best. Somebody said to me, once that he think there's three kind of elements towards getting work, and it's like having thick skin, because there's a lot of rejection as well, having talent and luck, and I think it's kind of a combination of all three of those, really.
I was going to ask, well, everyone has a little bit of luck along the way in their career. What do you put, if there's a pivotal moment, what would you say yours has been?
Pivotal moment was definitely when I got Cabaret. Almost 10 years ago now, I did Cabaret, the musical in the West End of London, and there were a lot of lucky factors around that, timing, even getting an audition for it at that point, because at that point I'd done very little. Getting a lead part in a West End show was a massive step up. The fact that the director wanted to take a chance on me, and that was the job. I've been at a drama school a few years by that point, struggling to get work, and that was the job that made me think, right, I can do this, and I can do it as a career. So,
Sounds
definitely
good.
that.
And you went on to play Macbeth as well. Being Macbeth.
They gave the role of Macbeth to Branagh for some reason.
Who knows why? But I mean, do you feel more pressure on stage than sort of TV and film work?
It's certainly different. I mean, the interesting thing about Macbeth was we did one performance where it was the National Theatre Live.
Yeah.
And we did it so it's screened to cinemas across the world. That was all, you know, that was a pretty nerve-wracking performance, because you're kind of scared of making a mistake anyway when you're on stage. But in a way, you can kind of cover it because the audience have never seen it, so they accept what's going on. But yeah, it's just very different. But certainly there are few things I think as scary and exhilarating as singing live on stage in front of an audience. That's probably at the top, I would say. Yeah.
How do you rate your voice?
10 out of 10, of course. No, I can sing. I'm a good singer. I've done a couple of musicals. Well, actually, it's questionable whether I'm a good singer or not, but I certainly can sing. But it's you know, I think when you go and see the people that do musicals all the time, and that is their bread and butter, are incredibly talented. I think, you know, certainly when I did cabaret, I've never been involved in something where you're surrounded by so many talented people.
Is singing something that you want to do more of in the future? Or
I definitely would. You know, I still go up for musicals now and again, and I would absolutely love to again if something came along, or if the right one came along. Totally.
I mean, do you prefer sort of being on stage to film, or just a happy medium?
I don't prefer it, and because the last few years I've mostly been doing filming, you start to kind of just get into what it is. I think ultimately my passion is film. I absolutely love. I love being a small part in a film, because I love just being part of that story. You know, there's a start, there's a middle, and an end, and that's it. And it's always exciting being on set and being involved in it. But there is something. Musicals are what got me interested in the business, so they've always got a big place in my heart as well.
Yeah, I mean, when did you first realise you wanted to act?
I think when I did Oliver Twist at primary school, and probably, now I can't remember this consciously, but I imagine being on the stage and getting applause from the audience was probably one of the first times. You know, there's got to be I don't know why actors become actors, everyone's probably different, but there's got to be something there about enjoying that applause. Much as I just, you know, I love creating characters and I love being part of stories, but that was probably around about then.
Yeah. And you're soon to be released film The Titan. You star alongside Sam Worthington and Tom Wilkinson.
Yep.
What can we expect there?
So The Titan is set in the near future. It's not exactly defined when it is, but Tom Wilkinson plays a scientist who's basically predicted that Earth is going to be uninhabitable in a matter of years, and we need to find somewhere else to live. And there's a moon, and this is real, there's a moon just off Saturn called Titan, which its atmosphere is mostly nitrogen. So in the film it's thought that this is a planet that perhaps if humans go through certain experiments and adapt to it, they could go and live on Titan. So me and a few others play astronauts in it who are going through these experiments to try and become Titans. But that's the kind of, that's the overall story, but the story is also really a love story between Sam Worthington and Taylor Schilling. So it's very exciting, I think.
Where was it filmed?
It was filmed in Gran Canaria, and it's set on Earth, but there's something otherworldly about the Canary Islands, I think, and they lend themselves to a sci-fi feeling, I think. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. If you could work with any director, who would you pick out the hat?
Any director? Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, comes to mind. I love Magnolia. I love everything he's done. I think he's fantastic, and he works with Daniel Day-Lewis quite a lot, obviously. Yeah. So if you get to work with him, you maybe get to work with Daniel Day-Lewis as well. So. And
your dream role?
Dream role. It would actually probably be. There's two plays by Arthur Miller, All My Sons, and I'd love to play Chris in All My Sons. and I'd love to play Biff in Death of a Salesman.
Ah, excellent.
So,
any other acting ambitions?
well, I've written a short film recently, and we're in the process of just finishing off the edit of that, and we've submitted it to the festivals, as you do with short films. And I've written a half-hour comedy pilot which is in development with a production company as well, and the producers of the short film are interested in maybe working on other stuff. So I think I'd like to keep kind of hopefully spreading my wings and trying to explore those areas a bit more alongside acting as well. But I mean, I think the biggest ambition with acting is just to keep getting work.
Yeah, absolutely. But the writing side is something that, you know, sort of a recent sort of development, or something that you've always sort of had in the background?
I think, you know, when I was a teenager, I used to write all the time, just for fun. You know, I loved English at school, albeit if my English teacher ever sees this, I was a bit lazy. But I loved writing stories just for fun, and I think, I certainly as an adult, I think you start to lose sight sometimes of the stuff that you like doing just, you know, for fun and just to be creative. And so I've dabbled with writing things over the years, and then I wrote this short film and just really wanted to actually have a stab at, you know, seeing if I could do it. Because as an actor, you read so many scripts.
Yeah, you must.
You know that you think
must learn something, and also realise when you're onto a good thing.
Yeah, and you know, you kind of think, obviously there are certain scripts that appeal to you more than others, and it's nice to, you know, just have a go and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're a keen supporter of International Animal Rescue. Why is that particular charity close to your heart?
You know, it was brought to my attention by my wife actually, who was you know, donating on a regular basis, and I think, I mean, there are so many fantastic charities to give to these days, but in particular, when you know, the plight of the orangutan, and you know, International Animal Rescue, as the title says, it's about all animals, but when there's animals like the orangutan that are of extinction, I mean, there's a very, very, very strong chance that in 20 or 30 years there aren't going to be any left in the wild, because their habitation is being destroyed by deforestation for palm oil, you know, and tigers as well. I can't imagine a world where we don't have tigers or orangutans in the wild because of the actions of humans. So I think it's who else is going to help the animals, you know, if it's not us. So I think it's important to try and help out.
A great cause. What other projects do you have in the pipeline then? Seems like you're a very busy man.
I am going to be filming on a Channel 4 thing pretty soon, but I'm not entirely sure I can say anything about that at all. Not through any secrets. It's not genuinely. I'm not. I don't know, because I don't know if they've announced anything about it yet. And I am going to be doing quite kind of random and kitsch, the voice of a spaceship in a sci-fi film, kind of like 2001 Space Odyssey, where there's, like, you know, the character of Hal, who's the voice of the ship. It's, you know, that kind of ilk, so it will be my version of Hal.
Excellent. Well, thanks a lot for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to Film News viewers?
I hope that you're all supporting Andy Murray at Wimbledon this year.
Sure we will. By the time people have watched it, he'll be on his third Wimbledon trophy.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you.